The largest settlement in Canadian history was approved by the federal court today, more than a decade and a half after the battle for First Nations child welfare compensation was first launched. CTV's Manitoba Bureau Chief Jill Makashon on what that means for the hundreds of thousands who experienced racial discrimination through years of chronic underfunding of critical services.
It's a landmark decision 15 years in the making, a legal battle focused on human rights with some 300,000 claimants. Zach Trout was the lead plaintiff, a father from Cross Lake First Nation in Manitoba. He had to fight for medical care for his severely ill children who both died before the age of 10.
It's very emotional for me to stand here today. We won. Cross Lake, we won.
The newly approved $23 billion settlement will now allow compensation to start moving to First Nations children and their families, roughly $40,000 for each claimant.
Finally, this looks like another big legal hurdle has been reached, but at the same time, they'll never get their childhoods back.
The Human Rights Tribunal found Ottawa's chronic underfunding of on-reserve child welfare services was discriminatory. Many children were taken from their homes and families and forced into foster homes far away from their First Nations. Others living on reserve were denied equal access to medical equipment and health care.
And I thought of all of those that aren't here with us, but at the same time, the ones that are here with us, I'm happy for them. And I hope that it improves their life in some way.
This finally ends the fight for compensation. Next comes reforming the child welfare system with $20 billion earmarked for change.
And I'm really hopeful that this is a signal to all future Canadian governments that we cannot be discriminatory in the way that we fund services for Indigenous peoples. This is a lesson for the country.
Ottawa says the compensation money is available now. Claimants will need to go through a registration process that will be made more clear in the coming weeks. And that legal settlement, Omar, it also calls for an apology from the Prime Minister.
All right, Jill, thank you.